Good afternoon, family. This is True to the Strap with another weekly watch list video. And I hope you all had a great 4th of July weekend, even if you celebrate or if you do not celebrate. Jumping into the watch list, the market just been going absolutely crazy. If you've been following the last previous videos and been getting on the plays, shout out to you because these plays just been going crazy. And if you haven't, be sure to set alerts on some of these plays because again, it's just been going crazy, right? We're going to jump straight into it. There's no red news. There's only FOMC minutes, I believe, next Wednesday. And that's the only red news for next week. So not much impactful news to look forward to unless something dropped with Donald Trump or whatever. We're going to jump straight into it. We're going to start off with China, PDD. So I like PDD holdings for several reasons. Let's start from the higher time frames. On the month, we have a potential double inside breakout. I like the consolidation on the month. Consolidation create opportunities. I know that. I also like how we've been sitting on this point of control. Now, the point of control is basically an indicator that shows how much buying and selling was in at a certain price. So around this 100 to 195, there was a lot of buying and selling pressure. And what price like to do is build up on this point of control and then it explodes. So if you look at previous price has memory, you see that it consolidated on the POC, the red bar, and then it exploded. It happened here. It happened here. And we are now back trying to rise off of that POC on top of the double inside. So I think this deserves some attention. Coming to the week, we have a 312 possible in a week. It could go 312 down as well, but I'm pretty bullish on this for right now. So I'm looking for that 312 to the upside above 105.82. And if we drop down to the daily, we got some nice pullback in a potential TTO bouncing from this base area, right? So price loves to hold the basing area, and it's like the basing area right there. So as long as price stay within this range that I just highlighted, I am bullish on PDD. And coincidentally, it is sitting on that POC, right? So it went crazy, I believe, last week before last, and then it finally sold off. So you kind of want that PMG 22 rev on the daily back to the upside. Set your alerts. I mean, you could get in above the daily around the high of last Thursday, which is around 104.17, or you can wait to clear the previous quarter close at 104.66. So those are two entries. Set your alerts on these. Again, these plays have been going absolutely crazy. If you've been following them and entering, then you definitely made some money. So, excuse me, PDD is the first to start off with. Our first target would be 105.82. That would be like a light layup. The main target we want to take out is the previous month high at 108.68. Again, this will break the double inside month that we've been sitting in. And then we should see some real upside after that. We do have several gaps to fill. PDD can be a gapper, so be careful with that. But other than, not to mention, we sit in the OTE optimal trade entry as well on that premium discount zone. So several things aligning with this trade that's letting me know that it might be ready to go. And this can go crazy. So just pay attention to that. As far as the contracts we are looking at, I like the July 18s, 110 for 89 cents and 105 for 214. I mean, if we hit these targets by 7-11, especially that 108.68, that's over 100%. 108.68 is right there. That can happen in one day, realistically. If you get a nice push in China, or happen in 1 or 2 days. To giving ourselves a whole week to hit that with a monthly. So, like the risk and reward for this one. I think that looks good in my opinion. Second, China, we're going to talk about is Futu. I like Futu. I like the consolidation that Futu is bringing. Let's start off from this month, or quarter. So we have a potential 2-2 rev on the QR. So right above 127.11, we got that 2-2 rev on a quarterly time frame, which looks beautiful in my opinion. right? We want to target these highs, or these equal highs rather. We did go 3-2 down, swept the lows. Now this is looking super bullish. Love the way this looks. Let's come down to the month. We still inside month, and we got a chance to go 2 up on a month, which is the same level as the 2-2 rev on the QR at 127.11. And then drop down to the week. We have a 3-1-2 on the week. The week closes as a doji, so it can go either way, but I am bullish on this. Dropping down to the lower time frame, we have some consolidation sitting in that OTE premium zone. So again, just looking at that support and resistance supply and demand zone, we are sitting on some support in this range here, which I like, right? We turn previous resistance back into support. So as long as price continues to consolidate above 118.34, I am bullish on this. It could drop down to 114.98 as well, but as long as price hold between 119.22 and 114.98, I think this is still bullish. But for right now, it's holding tightly within 122.64 and 119.22, and we have ourselves a nice inside daily. If you look at the hybrid time frames, I also like the 4-day as well. 4-day as well, which is showing a nice 2-2 rev. So we got multiple actionable signals on this. Hammer on the 4-day, inside day on a daily, inside day on a 3-day. Also, we have a bullish pennant setting up on the 3-day as well. So there's a whole bunch of confluences that's telling me when a trade is ready to explode. And this trade looks ready to explode now. It's China, so things could happen a little differently, but we're going to go with our setups and system on this one. And this is what we look for. We look for actionable signals within consolidation or consolidating ranges. And we wait for that pop, just like they've been popping in the last trades, right? You want to set your alerts above 122.70. And we want to see what happens with this, okay? Do not hesitate. Don't hesitate. So analyze. I didn't analyze these trades, unfortunately, but most likely we'll go with a monthly on this one, or next month, August. The August looks great. This 150, 2.10 looks good. Not a lot of people at the July 18s, but the 125s is good as well. Volume will pick up as these start to spark. And there's a lot of bodies sitting on the 140s, which is not bad either. But you need that for something out the money like this. You just need that pop. So 140 is right here. That can happen. The way these, like, I'll pay attention to the bodies of the candles as well. The way the body of the candles, how tight they've been closing. Like, this thing is ready to explode. This thing is ready to explode. Now, the more I look at it, and I didn't see it that way, but this thing is ready to explode. So it's like any day now. Don't hesitate. You can go with weeklies or monthlies. I always keep it safe with the monthlies. So anywhere between 121 or 125 to 130 are good contracts. I'll probably just grab the 130s, honestly. Grab the 130 July's to target 130.88. Just like that. If you do get a weekly, it'd be a little more risky, but again, you could get that pop. Loving Futu. Love Futu. Let's look at LULU, the Lululemon. So I like LULU. I like LULU for several reasons. One, this can be an ultimate swing play, but we're gonna do a light swing on this one. It's sitting at its basing area. It's at lows that I haven't seen since goddamn July of last year, and even before that, back in 2020, right? I like we are inside quarter on this one. We hold it as basin range. It swept the previous year low at 226.01. It kept that. It defended that level. Also, we still inside on the month. Like, you know, the month is still showing inside because we still a new month. This is still bearish, but I think we could probably see a reversal. Not probably. We can see a reversal in this range. So I just want to keep a lot of eyes on it. We got a lot of wicks at the bottom of here too. Price like to get bought up in this range. So let's see what happens. Let's come down to the week. We did go 2 up on the week. I'm looking for that 2 up continuation. Not only am I looking for that 2 up continuation on the week, right? Above 252.24, but we have some nice actual signals on the daily. The daily got a 3-1. So I like the way this 3-1 closed. Tight bodies on the candlesticks let me know that this can pop. We could get a quick pop for a day trade, or you can swing. Not to mention we got a crazy gap to fill that was created on 6-6. Excuse me. Crazy gap to fill there. So when I analyze these contracts, I realize that all this trade needs to do is move. All this trade needs to do is move. I mean, you could put stops around, or mental stop around 237.58, but calls above 24.93. Set your alerts. Again, all this needs to do is move. Peep this. Look at the targets, right? We got 261.30. We got 271.34. We got 282.23. We got 286.56. 57, right? And if I go to the analyze, look at the July 18s for 300. So this is for more so larger accounts. If by the 11th, if we was to hit 261, that's over 125% by the 11th. So 261 is only right there. That's one move. Y'all gathering what I'm saying? This is only one move. 261.30 is right there. So if I was to grab this monthly, July 18th, and I was to hit that by the Friday, that's over 100%. And that's not even 261.30, that's just 261 flat. So the odds is good to me. We'll get more time on this, honestly. I'm just short ranging it, but if you got the funds to do it, I think grabbing one of these 300s on the August or even September's, like, I might have to come back to this, but even on the September's, like the 300 C's, Lululemon could get crazy from down here to get that pump. So I like the way this is setting up. Don't let it get all the way back up to 271. If it does, we're in that 271 range, you're going to be having over 300%. And even by the 18th, if we get that 271, that's still over 300%. 266 would be over 100% by the 18th. We'll be looking to hit these by the 11th, at least. So again, that's just right there. Could happen in one day. Lululemon moves 7 points a day. So you do the math on that, 252 plus 7. Okay. Next is Costco. Now, Costco ain't been doing much, but I love the basin area that it's in. It's sitting in this demand zone here, right? And I think that if it can clear the previous week high at 996.84, can finally see a move. This one can be slightly risky because if it doesn't move, Costco date on the contract could eat up the contract. But I say as long as it hold the previous month low at 973.90, this trade is still valid. You just might have to be patient with it and not go by the percentage, but you got to go by the charts with this one, right? Or you're going to get tricked out your position. I like calls above 990.1. Let's check out the week. The week is DOGE. So no clear indication that this is ready, except for that it's sitting in the basin area. And I also like how the wicks kept popping off the previous month low. So it never went 3-2 down. Instead, it stayed inside, sweeping the lows. So I like that as well. And it's also holding previous resistance that was in the past. So probably has memory. So we're just going based off this basin area. Let's check out the 4-day on this one. If we got the 4-day, we got a potential 2-2 rev coming in on 777. So again, you can either take calls above 99.20 or you can set your alerts above the previous week high, 996.84. Okay. All right. If you can't afford, I would go with a monthly, but if not, weeklies will be considered risky. I like the monthly 120C for 435. And here's the targets. So we had the target of 1005.84. 1005, that'll be just slightly over 50% if we could do that by the 11th. But I think Costco can do that. If we get one of them nice little legs up, I believe Costco can reach the highs of 1,034.27 cents. So don't sleep on Costco. Again, this is more so for larger accounts. Be patient with this one. probably take a few more days to get out that range or that consolidation, and didn't make it ready to pop. So next tick I'm gonna talk about is INOD. That's NO data. I like NO data for several reasons. Check it out. On the monthly, we got a potential 2 up on a month. On a quarter, we got a potential 2 ref on a quarter. So we flip that quarter at 52.60. And finally, on the week, we got a nice bullish pennant going on. We did try to break out, but it pulled back. So we want to see if we could retest, retrigger, and pop to the upside. We do have some major levels in a way. We have previous quarter high at 52.60, and then we have a yearly level at 55.17. But I think this could push. Let's go down to the daily. We got a 2 up continuation on the daily, but the high spread time frames will show us just a little bit more of what's going on in this range. And on a 2-day, we have a nice bullish pennant setting up with our actionable signal, which is the inside 2-day. So what that means is I like calls above $50.78 to target 52.60 and again 55.17. Explosive setup. Never played this one before. We are consolidating at equal highs. When we consolidate at equal highs, we start to create actionable signals or pennants. That's something I like to pay attention to. And that's something that can be explosive, just trying to penetrate those highs and pop to the upside. So looking at the analyze tab, we have July 18th, 55 calls for 180. And again, if we was to hit that 55.17, that's over 70% in that range. If we get up to 56, that's over 100%. Again, this is all by 11. So 56 is only right there. And I think it could do that this week. So that is INOD. Don't sleep on that one. Next one. I never trade this one, but I like the setup is VRNT, Variant Systems. And let's check out the higher time frame. So it did trigger 2 rev on the quarter and pull back. So we catching it like a small discount before it starts to kick up again. Same thing with the monthly, when 3-2 on a month pull back. So this one has potential. It's just now getting started. It's been consolidating for 2 months before it started to pop. So this one is just getting started, just trying to get up out of there. Last 2 weeks have been bullish, looking for a 2 up continuation on the week, but we did get a pullback at TTO to catch the upside on this one, and that was on the daily. So the daily closes a double inside, one as a Momo hammer. So for me, I like calls above 21.72. And then we want to target that weekly high at monthly high and weekly high at 22.87. And then eventually we want to get up towards 24.69. Now, this area is a tough area. Again, this is an equal high area, so it might get some turbulence around 22.87. But once it pushes above 22.87, it can definitely get up to 24.69. Again, I never played this one, but willing to give it a try. I don't want to sleep on this one. Double inside daily, re-triggering that month and that quarterly level, and pushing back into 4 time frame continuity. Let's go to the analyze tab. We have August for these 22.5 calls for 170. And again, this is a light little small play. If we was to hit that 22.87 by Friday, that's 27% return. If we was to hit 24.69 by Friday, that's 97. So 24.69 is only right there. So that can happen in a day or two. Right, giving ourselves a whole week for that. We got a whole August. Remember, that's August contracts. So I think the risk to reward is very, very good for these. Just got to ask yourself, do we need a whole August monthly? Do we need a whole month and a half just to hit 24.69? Probably not. Okay. We call these no hesitation plays. Man, can't be hesitating, can't be scared. Let's go to CRM. Haven't played CRM in a long time, but I love the way it's setting up. First and foremost, we got a quarter. It's been ranging last quarter. Got potential to go 2 down, 2 up on the QR at the price of 296.05. Coming down to the month, we have some more consolidation in that month with a potential to go 2-1-2 reversal to the upside, and that will be above 276.38. So a lot going on with CRM. Like I said, I pay attention to the body of the candlesticks, and they just been ranging. This is due for a pop. This is due for a pop for sure, especially on that monthly. Could take a little bit more time, but rather sooner than later. The weekly time frames has been consolidating as well, and look what it's been consolidating on, that point of control. Point of control acts as a launch pad for price because it shows where the buyers and sellers was accumulating shares. So not only that, we sit in the OTE 50% zone. We dipped in and popped that back out. So I love the way CRM looked. It was stuck in the mother bar. Weekly mother bar was formed 526. Price been stuck there, but once price clears to 278.81, I think it can fly. Just be a little patient with this as it's trying to get out that mother bar. More consolidation on the daily. Not only that, we got some hybrid time frames going on in here. 2-day with 2 up, pull back. 3 days inside 3 days. So we got a 2-on-2 inside 3 day. Also, that's a bullish pennant as well. Higher highs, lower lows. Lower highs and higher lows. And then finally on a 4-day, we have a nice hammer 2-on-2 as well. So multiple active signals showing up on the hybrid time frames, bullish pennants, all while sitting on the point of control. Been sweeping the lows of the previous month close. This looks explosive. You just got to be ready for when it pops. So with that being said, set alerts above 274.96. Let's go to that analyze tab. $280s of 18th of July is the ones I will go with. And now we got a whole 2 weeks on our contracts to hit 280. Do you think we need 2 weeks to hit 280? We might. It could, consolidate a little bit more. But if we get that pop, again, if it just moves to 280, that's 84% by Friday, right? And it could go well beyond 280. It could go to 282, and it could go to 286. 286 would be over 200%, and 282 would be over 100%. Like the way CRM is setting up. Love it. Next is FT&T. Now, this has been on the previous watch list. It did make a move on Friday. It did pop out of the discount on Friday. The discount was down here. So if you was waiting for that breakout, which never happened, it did sell off. This is why we don't take our eyes off plays when they sell off, because it always present another entry, especially if it holds structure. It always presents another entry. The other entry was a 2-on-2 back to the upside. So this Friday move alone, just catching that discount, if you never got in because it never popped, right? No trigger, no trade. If you got in on a 2-on-2, right, you'd be well green lit before the actual breakout even begins, making this a risk-free trade. Let's start with the quarter. Quarter having potential to go 2-2 rev above 109.33. The month have a potential to go 2-on-2. It actually did go 2-on-2 above 105.97, but it pulled back slightly. This one is ready to rock it soon. Let's go to the weekly. The week went 3-2 as well. So we want that 3-2 to the upside. We're going to finally break out this mother bar. We got a crazy mother bar. I ain't gonna lie. We got a crazy mother bar on the 5-5. We got to get out of that. That's probably the main reason why I was consolidating, but I still got faith in this play. Once it clears 105.97, it can shoot up and finally clear 109.33. Let's go to the daily. Now this is where things get a lot more interesting. We'll be catching a 2-up continuation after a strong previous Thursday. I honestly hope that this pull back just a little bit, but if not, we're going to take that trigger above 105.97. Looking at these hybrid time frames, we got multiple actionable signals. Start with the 2-day. 2-day just a 2-up. The 4-day have an actionable signal, but the 3 days, that's just 2-up as well. And if we look at that 4-day, we got a nice 3 hammer. That's what we're looking for. Nice 3 hammer on that 4-day. So we want that 3-2 continuation to the upside. Trigger that 4-day. And we want to trigger those higher time frames as well. We want to finally see this breakout. So this has been disgusting consolidation. Let's see if we get that breakout. That is FT&T. Looking at the analyze tab, we got 109Cs for 127. Okay. And then we got the targets of 109.33 and again 110.67. So 109.33, that'd be a 70 or 80% return on investment by the 11th. Then we got that 110, which is over 140%. All right. Last but not least, we have lows. lows. So with this one, lows have been consolidating at the bottom of the previous quarter lows. Did try to pop up. I think the quarter has a potential 2-2 rev as well, above 237.54. Something I would like to see. Monthly went 2 up, 2-2 rev and pull back, and then the weekly went 2 up, continuation and pull back as well. I believe I like the daily, the way the daily is setting up. It did have an explosive move last week with this 3 up. Had a nice explosive move, and then finally it pulled back. I think this pullback is perfect to catch the continuation to the upside on this play. With that being said, that's closed above 228.64. That would be the 2-2 rev on the daily. And I don't think nothing really special happened on the hybrid time frames, but you can check. Yeah, no, nothing really special happened on hybrid time frames. Do have another actual signal, which is an inside hammer on the 3-day. So come 7-8, you'll have a 2-on-2 continuation to the upside on the 3-day. But yeah, with this trade, we do want to clear this. This could be a problem, clearing this range here. So this can be a discrepancy getting above that previous quarter open, 232.40. So just be on the lookout for that. But I would think if you clear these equal highs, you can touch that previous quarter high, also flip that quarter as well. We got a rev on that quarter, so that's the ultimate target. We rev on a quarter, we can get up to 248.27 for sure. So gotta just clear these equal highs. Let's see what happens. We did tap that previous quarter open on that strong day, and then what it did, it pulled back ever since. So this is our entry to get in on this to catch the upside. So analyze. There's 2 different contracts you can go with. The August, if you want to be super safe, I would be super safe at lows. That's $2.54, 240 C's. And they go to July 18. This is more like a lotto kind of vibes, but 61 cents, 240. If y'all look at, if we were to hit these targets, y'all see it, the return on investments is pretty nice. So again, if we could just hit that 232, that's only like a base hit, but if you was to do that in, 1 day, that's like 77%. I'll take that. I will take that. I will compound that, right? Don't got to hold for dear life on everything. 236.11 or 237. Let's go with the 237. That's over 200% return if we used to hit the 237. Again, that's the July. So let's look at the August. Over 100%. And even with the 232s, that's at 30%. That's a nice base hit, in my opinion, especially for August contract. And 232 is right there. So don't hesitate on this. Expect turbulence in its range that I marked off. And that concludes the weekly Watchlist video. Thank you if you've been tuning in, and we are out.